What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dropping Wisdom with Santos podcast. And today I'm doing the next season of Wages of Wisdom, Week 1, 2025-2026, NFL. What I do is give you the games of the week, tell you the spreads and the over/under, who I think is going to win, maybe some injuries that could impact the game. Then I'm going to give you my parlay bets with DraftKings, just to give you some ideas of maybe some bets that you could possibly win money off of. Okay, so here we go. Thursday, September 4th on NBC and Peacock, Dallas at Philadelphia. Over/under is 7.5 for Philadelphia. 47.5. The line is 7.5 for Philadelphia. Obviously, you picked Philadelphia in that game. I believe the Cowboys are going to have a pretty good offense. Defense is questionable. And on Friday, Kansas City is playing the Los Angeles Chargers, but that's going to be on YouTube in Brazil at 8 p.m. The line is Kansas City favored by 3.5, over/under 44.5. This is going to be a question mark to me, man. I just don't know. I'll pick the Chargers. I will pick the Chargers to cover, my opinion. I like the Chargers to cover. I don't really like the Chiefs, let's be honest. 3 NFL referees were fired in the offseason by the NFL that officiated the Chiefs game. So we all know the Chiefs weren't as good as they were weren't as good as they were last season. So why do you think they're not as good this season? Who are the wide receivers? One of them's already suspended. And Kelsey's over the hill. He's an average tight end now. So I see the Chiefs, the Chargers winning that game. Then Sunday the 7th, 1 p.m. games. Okay, you have the Buccaneers at at Atlanta. Tampa Bay is favored by 2.5. Over/under 46.5. I like the over on that. 46.5 I think is pretty low. I think that's going to be a high scoring game. Tight game, division game. I do like the Bucs in that game. It's going to be a tight game though. It's going to be a good game. I like both offenses. That's why I think that's going to be a high scoring game. And you have Cincinnati at Cleveland. Over/under is 47.5. The line is 5.5. Obviously, I would go through Cincinnati. Miami at the Indianapolis Colts. The line is 1.5 for the Colts. Over/under 46.5. I have no idea. You picked the home team in this one. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins win that game because the Dolphins still have a good offense. I just don't know Daniel Jones, though, bro. Daniel Jones. You would want to say home team, but Daniel Jones, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins win that game. Let's just say that. Okay. Now, Las Vegas Raiders at New England Patriots. The line is 2.5. Over/under 42.5. I like the Patriots in this one. Patriots are better than what people think. And even though the Raiders kind of got better, who was their wide receiver one? Jacoby Myers. He's not really a wide receiver one. They got Amari Cooper back, but he's washed up. He's old. So you only got, Bowers, a really good tight end. Janty's good, but the offensive line is kind of questionable. So I like the Patriots in that game. Close game, though, but Patriots should win that game. Cardinals at New Orleans. Line is 6.5 for the Cardinals, over/under 42.5, basically because the Saints are waiting for next year to draft a high quarterback. So they already know this year's a wash. Picking Rattler as a starter. You see what he did last season. He ain't do shit, so don't expect him to do shit this year. So I like the Cardinals in that game. You got Pittsburgh at the Jets. The line is 2.5 for the Steelers. Over/under 38.5. Now these are pretty good defenses. Questionable are the offenses. You have Justin Fields in the new offense. And new coach is there. And you have the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, new DK Metcalf, new running back, new quarterback, new wide receivers. So it's just going to be a question of who has the best chemistry, which quarterback has the best chemistry with the wide receivers. I mean, I like the Jets. The Jets going to be run first. And in that offense with Justin Fields, you run first. And I wouldn't even pick Garrett Wilson in my fantasy football team because I don't really trust Justin Fields throwing him the ball on a consistent basis. But I wouldn't be surprised if New York would win this game. I mean, so the cover, I would pick the Jets to cover, but this would be a tight game, especially 38.5. It's going to be a low-scoring game too. So, But, I don't know the chemistry with these quarterbacks that they have, the wide receivers. New offensive scheme for both quarterbacks. So you would kind of lean towards Aaron Rodgers to put it in the air. But at the same time, they're missing Cameron Hayward, defensive tackle. And he's a big key for them on defense. And if the Jets are run first, they're going to run them to the ground. And if Justin Fields plays like he's supposed to play, and basically if no one's open, run the ball, they could win the game because he's not a pocket passer. As long as he doesn't try to become a pocket passer, they should win the game. So I kind of leaning towards the Jets to cover. Then you have the Giants and the Washington Commanders. The line is 6.5 for the Commanders, over under 45.5. I like the Commanders in this one, 6.5, but this should be a better game than people think. I think the Giants got a little better in the offseason. And then let's see here. You got the Panthers at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's favored by 3.5, over under 47.5. I like the Jags in this one. Jags looks pretty good. And I like the Jags. Good, two solid running backs, two solid wide receivers now, and Hunter and Thomas. Panthers are getting there, but they still aren't there yet. So I like the Jags in this game. And you have the Tennessee Titans at Denver. The line 8.5 for Denver, over under 42.5. That's kind of low. I would pick the over on the 42.5 and pick Denver solid. I'm a big fan of Denver this year. I'm just saying I think Denver could score a lot of points this game, but I believe Titans, how these games are, probably some garbage points at the end of the game to reach that 42.5. So I will pick the Denver in the over. I like the over in that one, 42.5 in Denver, definitely. Then you got the 49ers at Seattle. San Francisco's favored by 2.5, over under 44.5. I'm picking Seattle all day in this game. I pick Seattle to cover that spread. There's no way. I don't think the 49ers should win this game at all. They have no wide receivers. The wide receiver 1 is technically the wide receiver 3 or their slot receiver. That Pearsall guy that got shot last season. All their wide receivers are injured or suspended. So they're picking wide receivers off the street to put in the uniform on. I just, Christian McCaffrey, he can get hurt if the wind shifts. So I like Seattle. Definitely like Seattle in this game. I think Seattle's going to be better than what people think this season. So I like Seattle to definitely cover that. That's going to be in my parlay, by the way, just to let y'all know. Then you got Detroit Lions at Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 2.5, over under 46.5. This spread was 1.5 for the Packers. It went up 1 point after they traded for Micah Parsons. This is going to be a good game, possibly over under 46.5. That's kind of low. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I like the Packers. I like Detroit, but there's a lot of coaching. People don't consider the coaches. There's a lot of coaching changes in the Lions that could affect the play. Detroit's going to be. This is going to be a great game. But I like the Packers in this one. Houston at the LA Rams. Rams are favored by 2.5, over under 43.5. I don't see that. I see that being over in that game. Houston, the Rams. Houston's a solid team. I like the Rams too. I think they're downplaying Stafford, or they're making too much of a hype for Stafford's back. I just think they want to arrest him in the preseason and throw him out there in the season. Don't try to get him hurt. I think his back is better than what they're saying. So I don't think he's really, I don't think he's hurt on that level of not being able to perform this season for the Rams. I like the Rams. They got rid of Cooper Kupp, added Devontae Adams. So not that major of a decline in that trade or that offseason pickup. So I like the Rams, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans won. But this is going to be 43.5 is too low, I think. The Ravens at Buffalo, over under 51.5. Believe that. And Buffalo favored by 1.5. Man, it's hard to say, man, because but hard to, people going to pick Buffalo, home team. I get it. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens won because Lamar Jackson is my keeper in my fantasy league. So I have to favor him. Like, hey, if no one's open, run. Keep moving those chains, baby. So I like honestly, man, I like the Bills, man. But if the Ravens won, I'd be like, I'm not surprised. This is like a toss-up in my opinion. Still, I don't even know who the Bills wide receiver 1 is. And really no eye catcher there. Then you got the Vikings at Chicago as your Monday night football. Well, the Baltimore-Buffalo is the Sunday night game, by the way. And so the Monday night game is the Vikings at Chicago. Minnesota favored by 1.5, over under 43.5. I'm going Vikings just because I'm not going to go for a guy that paints his nails as a quarterback. I really don't give a shit about that dude. I think the Bears have a good defense. Offense is okay. I think Caleb Williams is overrated. I like the Vikings. Questionable about the wide receivers, though, because of the injury towards Addison suspension, actually. They added Adam Thielen, but he ain't going to have that much of an impact. But this is going to be a good game, though. But I just 1.5. So that means if it was a home game for the Vikings, they'll be favored by like 3. So this is a good game. I like to lean towards the Vikings in this one, but it's another divisional game, so it's going to be questionable, Okay, now I'm going to give you guys my future spreads, my future parlay bets that I put down here, and that I'm putting in. I already put them in early August before even the Micah Parsons trade. So I got this $10 wager parlay, Buffalo Bills for division winners, a 5-pick parlay for division winners. I put $10 down. Bills, the Broncos, the Packers, the Commanders, and the Rams. I know people are saying the Commanders. Yeah, I think Commanders are going to take over the Eagles this year in the division winner, and so is the Packers. I like the Packers. I like the Commanders. I'm thinking, I like how the Commanders are and the Packers are doing. I think they're going to be division winners. And I know about the Broncos. I like the Broncos. I'm high on the Broncos. And I don't like the Chiefs. Chargers are good, but I'm putting the favor. If you really think about it, that division with the Broncos, every coach is a Hall of Famer, and that's kind of crazy. Every coach in that division is a Hall of Famer. So we got the Bills, Broncos, Packers, Commanders, Rams as my 5-pick parlay at the end of the season division winners. $10 will get you $1,600. Okay. Now I decided to go do another pick because they were offering different, different offers on the DraftKings. So my 8-pick parlay for division winners, I'm going Ravens, Bills, Texans, Broncos, Packers, Commanders, Rams, and Buccaneers. Those are my 8 division winners. You put $10 down on this 8 division winner, $10, you'll get $8,800. So, fuck it. You know what I mean? Okay. Now I did this one for shits and giggles. I did a 16-pick parlay. 16-pick parlay right here. I'm picking all the games this Sunday. So I put down, I had to change in my wallets. I put down 67 cents, and if I get this shit right, I get $1,850. But I picked the Eagles. I picked the Chargers to favor. I picked the Chargers to their spread to beat the spread at 3.5. I picked the Commanders. I picked the Bengals. I picked the Jets because they were to cover the 3.5, because they're supposed to lose by 3 when I made this pick. So I like the Jets to cover that 3, the Chargers to cover the 3.5. I like the Cardinals. I like the Falcons to cover the 2.5 because I think this is going to be a good game at home again with the Falcons. I picked the Colts. I picked the Jaguars. I picked the Patriots. I picked the Broncos. I picked Seattle to cover the 2.5, the Packers, the Rams, the Ravens to cover the 1.5, and I picked the Vikings. For 67 cents, you can win $1,868. So why not? Fuck it. And then I made this other bananas pick. This is a crazy parlay I put in. For $5, you'll get $275 if you win this bet. I picked the Commanders. I picked the Broncos. I picked Baker Mayfield to throw for over 200 yards. I picked Josh Jacobs to score anytime touchdown. I picked the Seahawks to cover their 2.5 point spread. I picked the Bengals to win, and I picked Chase Brown anytime TD score. I picked the Eagles to win, Saquon Barkley anytime TD score, and Saquon Barkley to have over 50 yards rushing. And I also picked the Cardinals to win and James Conner to score an anytime touchdown. Now with those, like I said, $5 gets you $276. If that's a 12-pick parlay, a lot of shit gotta go my way in that one. Okay, now this is my last pick of the week, my last parlay pick. This was my safe bet. This is what I really believe is who's gonna win. I like the Eagles. I like the Commanders. I like the Bengals. I like the Cardinals. I like the Broncos. I like Seattle to cover the 2.5, and I like the Jaguars. Okay. Now that right there, $5 wins you $58. Okay. And that's it for the week. Hope you guys take some of my what I have to say to consideration. And I'm so excited for football to come back. My fantasy football's coming. I got 2 drafts in the next 2 days. I'm ready to fucking rock and roll. And let me know what you guys think about my picks, about my parlay bets, and keep me on. I'm gonna try to keep a record to see how many times what I was right, what I was wrong about, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Hope you all win some money.